So the Edelson family is the big casino family. Obviously, like anyone who's been to Vegas has heard of the family. They purchased the Dallas Mavericks, and their end goal really with the Mavericks and with the basketball in general and Texas in general is to turn Texas into a gambling hub. Obviously, Dallas is a major city. Dallas cares about its sports. You want and the downtown Dallas is huge. It's awesome. So you kind of want to pivot and make downtown Dallas into a tourist destination. You know, you could watch your Mavericks, and you could watch the Mavericks, and you could have a little fun, get some drinks on, and
And then hit the
gamble a
casino.
little. Yeah, they wanted to turn that. They greased a lot of politicians. Obviously, Super Lieutenant. I believe Government Lieutenant Dan Patrick, who's the most powerful man in Texas. He entertained the thought of legalized gambling, but we haven't seen that into fruition. The Edelson family, they've lost a lot of money, then they've gained money, despite going to the NBA Finals, despite Luka Doncic being one of the highest selling players in the league. Despite like Luka being a main event attraction, Dallas Mavericks like selling out every arena, going to the NBA Finals, Luka being one of the highest selling jersey in the league for the past what? So Luka Doncic right now is number 8 highest selling jersey in the NBA as we're speaking on 2025. I believe this is January. He is the highest selling player when it came to jerseys. He is selling higher than Giannis Antetokounmpo, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and Nikola Jokic. So this guy is box office if people are willing to spend that much
Mm-hmm.
into investing in his gear, and people are willing to spend tickets. But the thing is, when you buy an expensive team and you're obviously paying politicians, you have to make the money work. That's one thing they've realized since owning that team. It sounds nice to talk about. It sounds nice to have in your resume, but when it comes to it, you have to make cuts. And it seems like Luka Doncic was their easy cut, despite him being a main event player, despite him being a must see TV, despite him being one of the most popular players in the league, and honestly, the youngest Hall of Famer in the league right now. I think what we
Yeah,
were
at the
saying,
age of
like,
25. At the
yeah,
age of 25, five-time
the age
All-Star,
of 25.
five-time first All NBA team, been to the conference finals twice. The youngest rookie to average 39-9 in the playoffs, and also NBA Finals appearance. But also going back to what you said with the family that purchased the Dallas Mavericks. Now, all the NBA teams, especially in Texas, they do represent a medallion, which is going to allow basically the team owners to sort of operate and get the special privileges of having a license to, kind of operate casinos. So they were kind of anticipating that with the purchase of the Dallas Mavericks from Mark Cuban. As you said, they had to, kind of grease some politicians, and maybe some of that didn't work. But again, going back to the money, because this is where all this kind of comes in, and it's very interesting because remember how I kind of spoke on this before, where the NBA owners along with the players is kind of agreed to this new CBA in which the players, quote unquote, they take home 51% of the revenue, so they have slightly an edge over the owners on how much money's coming in. But the trick was the owners now have made it very difficult for the players to recoup that money. We see Jimmy Butler going through it, Julius Randle's going through it. What's his name? Brandon Ingram in out in New Orleans is kind of going through it. These guys are productive, but ownerships now, like, they kind of structured the league in a way where teams are going to be reluctant to give out these deals because they don't want to hit these tax penalties. And Luka, he was eligible for 5 years, $345 million, right? Of course he was going to sign that deal because, again, if he didn't sign the deal with this trade, now he's only eligible for 5 year, $229 million, which is $116 million loss. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand why Luka, like, they kind of made it seem like Luka didn't want to sign it, but then they said that they're not scared of the timetable. Like, oh, there was no like, it was very inconsistent throughout this whole interview with these two. But now Luka is gonna lose out on that money, and also he's gonna pay LA, state tax, which is one of the highest state taxes in all of America. Meanwhile, he was in Texas with no income tax. Like, I'm pretty sure his agent let him know what was the deal. Like, there was no reason why Luka would have never signed that supermax. But I think what really scared the Mavericks was when Luka hit the 10-year mark, and he would have been eligible for $100 million a year. Like that 100. Imagine you're paying somebody 90 to $100 million a year, and after that you have to build around him. You know how expensive that shit is gonna be?
It's crazy expensive, yeah.
Like
Especially like I said,
one player is 100 mil for a
and
season.
like I said, we talk about the Mavericks. Right now they're operating in a loss. The new ownership.
Yeah, like you said, they were already operating at a loss because they had other ambitions outside of basketball.
Yeah.
They had other ambitions outside of basketball. But, you know, the thing is with this trade also, we got to look at the billions of dollars that they lost with Luka also. Luka would have kept his team relevant and also in the playoffs for the next 10 seasons. How much is that worth? All the jersey sales. You know, the money that they're going to make from being relevant. This is also
It's
what they
gone.
traded away. But again,
Yeah.
this is where we're gonna see owners kind of, I don't know, maybe this could be the beginning of owners being reluctant to give players that $100 to $80 million supermax as the cap keeps going up season by season. Because, like, imagine when what's his name, Jason Tatum is in his 10th year, he's gonna be eligible for that same exact deal.
Yeah.
So imagine,
Tatum.
imagine the Celtics at the time, they're kind of like a 5th seed. Do you think their owners are gonna give Tatum that type of deal? Like, this could be the new normal. Like, owners could be, the NBA owners now could be like sort of like the NFL, where the NFL owners are in constant disputes with their players. We seeing holdouts. We see with this season with Jimmy Butler. That might be a new norm going forward.
Yep. I
It,
think the way teams spend money now is much more complex now too, right? Where I think with MLB they have no cap space, so they're willing to spend. Now with the cap space and the tax, teams are more hesitant.
Yeah, it seems like I'm always saying this. It's not about the contract, it's about the terms of the deal. And I think the players now, their eyes are beginning to open because some of them haven't realized yet that, hey, it's hard for you to get paid. Some players have not realized that. Like Luka, of course, he's gonna get paid. Some team is gonna want to pay him. But I'm talking about the Julius Randles, the Brandon Ingrams. Even if
You're
Jimmy
not getting
Butler,
paid.
even if Jimmy Butler today happened to be the age of, like, let's say Jimmy was 30 years old, teams would still not want to pay him.
Dude,
Like,
teams are not paying for like if you're not
yeah, if you're not like the
top
top
10,
7, yeah, top 10,
top 7. Even 10 is questionable.
yeah,
7.
yeah, top 7. It seems like they don't want to pay you a certain rate. They
No,
don't want to,
not at all.
and the way the owner structured everything with the CBA, they structured it in a way to say the teams are, oh no, we don't want to go over the cap, there's too much penalties, it's going to be hard for us to build a team. But that's really an excuse. But they designed it that way. This is why the players should have never agreed to that. They should have never agreed to that. And now we're in a gray area where Emmanuel quickly gets paid $35 million, but teams don't want to give Julius Randle an extension for $40 million to even $50 million plus. Like, if Quickly's worth 35, how much is Jimmy Butler worth? Like,
Exactly.
this is the gray area now. This is the gray area, and now they're seeing there's not too many players with Luka's resume. They're seeing that his ownership actually kind of avoided paying his ass or even being near that 10-year supermax, and they quickly got rid of him way before that. This shit is very odd. It's very odd.
It's a dangerous precedent set in the NBA now. Um,
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say it's something that the players will have to focus on at some point,
well,
because
how is it not a dangerous precedent set in the NBA? Because now you're looking at new owners and the way they're maneuvering, right? Like the days of like Cuban and Dr. Jerry Buss, it's over.
yeah, but I would say it's really on the players because they already signed the deal. They already agreed. So the players now are gonna have to see how the owners are moving and they have an early opt-out clause. The players can actually opt out of the CBA early into this new TV deal. But what they're gonna notice, all I'm saying is what they're gonna notice in the next couple of years is that they're gonna see productive players kind of have fallouts when the contracts come for renewal. That's all I'm saying, and we're already seeing it right now. We're already
Yeah.
seeing it. This Lucas situation could be that, but again, we're hearing him right now. They're saying that his weight was 260 in the high 260s. He's almost 270. The Mavericks were concerned that his calf issues were a cause of that. What do you think about
That's
that?
to me that's a lie.
Yeah, his weight issues, that's something that he could work through the season. Like, he's still getting you where you need to go at the end of the day, man. Just over some weight loss. Is a lot of this seems, yeah, like you said, it seems
I
very
think it's a
off.
conversation of an extension. I think Luka not willing to commit to an extension soon had the Mavericks pissed, and they made a reactionary deal.
They made a quick reaction. Yeah. But what's so interesting? They said that they gave Luka, when they reported his calf injury, it's almost like they reported in a way where they gave him time to get back in shape. Like, it was
The
weird.
extension?
No. When Luka had the calf injury this season, it's almost
Yeah,
like they kind of gave him time off to get back in shape. It was kind of weird the way it was reported. But still, at the end of the day, the man brought you to the finals. He made the Mavs relevant after Dirk, and it's almost like guaranteed money for the ownership because you have all those extra playoff games every season, and you have that relevance, right?
exactly.
You have that relevance, but at the end of the day, it's like, man, like I really don't understand.
Dude, like I'm gonna be like, there's no way to really justify what the Mavericks did. Let's be honest, bro. Like, we cannot really play until the if the Mavericks win the finals. There is really nothing that can really justify this deal.